Alright, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And of all the places I'm in the world, I'm here in Anaheim, California. It's been a little bit cold this year for the Natural Products Expo 2019. And I want to say a few words about the Natural Products Expo. So this is the largest trade show for the health food industry, right? And it's called Natural Products Expo West, and that's because it's the West one. They have one on the East that I go to generally in like September. But the West one is huge. This has been growing and growing and growing and growing, and it's just totally insane. Like the number of people here, you gotta like fight major crowds, like the booths are mobbed, like it's just so insane here. But anyways, what this is about primarily products that you guys will see inside. And as you guys know, there's no legal definition of natural. So what is natural? Natural could mean whatever you want it to mean. And inside the Natural Products Expo, what you guys are gonna find mostly, in my opinion, is basically a lot of processed packaged food products. Yes, they have paleo products, you know, vegan products, vegetarian products, all kinds of different products. But you know, the thing to me is that this is not about necessarily health. Like maybe in the early years, you know, they had more vitamins and supplements, but now there's some vitamins and supplements in here. But the majority of the event space is taken up by processed food companies. Yes, whether they're vegan or whether they, you know, are not vegan, they're still highly processed foods. And these are the foods actually that I do not want to encourage you guys to buy. You know, I was thinking about making a video like 10 unhealthy things that happen at the Natural Products Expo, which I could gladly show you guys around. Some of those, but I don't have the time to make that video, maybe next year. Lots of unhealthy things going on here at this event, in my personal opinion, all right? I've been coming to this show for over 20 years now. I think maybe it's like 25, I lost count. I have previous episodes of the Natural Products Expo West and East. I'll put links down below. I generally do not cover the same product twice. So even if I see a product I liked last year, if I made a video about it and it was in one of these episodes, it won't be in this episode. I'll only show you guys the newest and the best. The other thing I will say is that the first 2 days, or 3 days even, I walked about seven miles each day. So 14, I probably walked maybe around 18 to 20 miles, you know, walking all the different convention center spaces to basically bring you guys literally a handful of booths with some really cool and innovative products that I think you guys should look out for and buy. I mean, I've seen other vegan bloggers here, you know, the Raw Food Zombie, what's up? You know, I saw him here. I mean, so many guys covering the vegan stuff. I'm so glad I don't cover vegan products. Because there's just too many of them. I'd still be in there doing stuff. Luckily I could walk by and breeze by most booths, because what I want to bring you guys is that's just not just processed products, right? Yeah, that's great. I think, you know, there's new vegan cheeses and all this kind of stuff out there for those of you guys that want to do that stuff. But I really want to encourage you guys to actually eat real food, and more importantly than buying something packaged that's already ready-made to eat, to, you know, buy some vegan cheese in a package. You guys could open up the package and eat it. Make your own, and that's what I'm all about. I want you guys to prepare your own foods, right? Packaged foods, they are addictive. I don't care if they're vegan or animal-based or whatever. They're addictive. They have salt, sugar, fat, oil. These are unhealthy things. So yes, in essence, I'm saying basically almost everything in there is quite unhealthy because it's basically packaged processed foods, and I want you guys to make your own. So whether it's a vegan bar, vegan keto bar, whatever you guys want to call it, they take nuts and seeds and mash them all together in a food processor, turn them in a little bar and sell you for $1. Make your own, buy your own bulk nuts and seeds. Even better than that, grow your own nuts and seeds and fruits and dehydrate them, freeze dry them, and make your own bar. So that's kind of like the level where I'm at. And I want to encourage you guys to grow as much food as you guys possibly can, even in your small space. I demonstrate how you guys can do this on my other YouTube channel, Growing Your Greens. Once again, the link is down below to my gardening channel, so you guys can do that. I also have a channel, another channel, youtube.com/raw foods, is where I show you guys the equipment that allows you guys to process raw nuts into nut butter, so that you guys don't have to buy the fanciest nut butter or whatever. You guys could also save money. You guys could also make your own, you know, bars out of dried fruits and nuts, other things in there. You can make your own fresh juices. So basically all the juice companies are selling HPP juices. You guys can make them at home, save a lot of money, have a higher quality. You know, once companies start putting things in packaging, nutrition goes down, it's just not as healthy for you. Plus it generates excess waste on the planet. I cannot say how much waste is generated by this event. It is insane, all the little sample cups and things that people are throwing away and all these things after they just use it once. Totally insane. So I hope that the expo and vendors in there in the future years would reduce the amount of waste that they are generating. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the basics I want to say, and I think I'm sitting here breathing somebody's cigarette or cigar smoke as I'm standing here, and I don't appreciate that, and that's one of the unhealthy things. The other unhealthy thing I see a lot is people talking on their cell phones, and it's my personal opinion and based on research I've seen that's in Europe and other places that cell phone use is a carcinogen, it's a stressor on our bodies, and you want to minimize that to as much as you guys can do. Or like me, I don't have cell service on my cell phone so that I don't get, irradiated with any of that potentially damaging carcinogenic, beaming on you. That being said, if you guys are going to do this, you're going to want to follow and do some of the things that I show you guys in this episode, because these are the healthiest foods at the Natural Products Expo West 2019. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and head inside and show you guys around. All right, so now I'm here inside the expo, and this is what it basically looks like inside. I mean, this is like the size of, I don't even know how many, 5 football fields, which is basically rows and rows and booths of all kinds of different food products that you guys could buy. I mean, here in front of me, there's like a tofu booth, and there's a chocolate booth, and all different kinds of stuff. And did you guys know you guys could make your own tofu? You don't have to just, if you want to eat tofu, you don't have to go down and buy tofu and eat it. Now, I personally don't think tofu is necessarily a health food product so much. I mean, better than some things, but not better as other things. But I want to encourage you guys to like make your own and try to, be a producer instead of a consumer in our society. This show is pretty much about being a consumer and gets you stuck in the trap of always continuing to buy your tofu, buy your diet cheese, buy your processed this, buy your processed that. Start at least growing at least some of your own food, even if it's some sprouts that you guys can grow easily at home. To produce your own food, and produce your own tofu, make your own kimchi, make your own tempeh, make your own natto, make your own fresh juices. If you want to make your own chocolate bars, do that. I'll have an episode coming up soon how you guys could order fresh cacao fruit and have that shipped to you, and then you could turn that fruit and become your own chocolatier and make your own chocolate, right? And so that's really what it is all about, in my opinion. It's about being a producer, not a consumer. Anyways, with that, I'm going to show you guys a few booths at this event that I really like a lot. All right, so the next booth I want to show you guys today is actually the booth of NutriCare, and they actually make the patch, which is an all-new revolutionary Band-Aid that will be changing the world. Mark my words. So now I want to show you guys the patch bandage, and this is it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like I cut myself a lot, whether I'm gardening or whether I'm doing whatever. I mean, a paper cut, whether I'm working in the kitchen, don't cut your fingers off when using your knives. And you normally just pick up a bandage or a Band-Aid or whatever Curade, whatever brand you guys are using, and you just put it on and to protect yourself from the abrasion or the insect bite or scratch or burn or whatever you just got, right? The problem with regular bandages is that they're very not environmentally friendly, right? They're made out of ingredients that don't break down. They're made out of plastic. So if you guys are using plastic bags and using Band-Aids that are made out of plastic, it's like the same thing. It could kill fish in the oceans and stuff. So we don't want to do that. Luckily, the patch is fully compostable, right? Including not only the bandage, but also the packaging. So they have like some soil here that you guys can see, and inside here, this right here, you guys can see that. This is actually the packaging that's basically breaking down over time. They have bandages in here that are also basically breaking down. And the bandages will basically break down in about 10 weeks. So just like maybe 2.5 months, you could throw these guys in your compost pile. So for me, that's a joy because I always have compost piles at my house. I can just take the bandages and throw them into my compost pile. In addition, all the packaging, can be fully composted. There's no plastic being used in here. All right, so once you open the package here, the whole package, including, what the bandages are actually wrapped in, is fully compostable. So that's amazing. Now the other thing is that these bandages are probably the least toxic bandages you guys could find. Actually, how this company was started was the owner actually has a son, and his son was having reactions to bandages, just standard bandages that he would buy at the store, with irritation on the skin. And he has a picture here. So this is actually what happened happened to the owner's son when he put a bandage on. Actually had skin irritation, and I don't know how many of you guys, are nowadays, like, so many people are becoming chemical sensitive, and like, you don't know what kind of adhesives are being used in some of the different bandage products. On these guys, actually, he's not really even using adhesive, which is also another major benefit. He actually uses more technology like, suction cup technology. So when you apply one of the bandages, actually what you want to do is you want to really push it down firmly, and it's actually going to be like a suction cup and stick down really well. These are not bandages that you can actually just pull up and then stick back down again. This is going to stick down once really well, not come up, even waterproof and all that stuff. But once you pull this off, it pretty much, the stickiness is lost. So that's kind of like a one-time application. The other thing is that, on the little pad here, they're being really innovative, and they're doing a few different things. They could put something like coconut oil on the pad. They could put aloe vera on the pad, and depending on your different kind of insect bite or burn or whatever you have, you might want to use a different one. So actually I want to show you guys the packaging and talk more about my favorite bandage that they're making here at Patch. All right, so you guys can see some of the product line behind me here. They have ones for bites and splinters. They got just the, ones for kids. They got ones with aloe vera. They got ones just for the standard cuts and scratches, which are kind of like the standard color of the bandages, which is like the skin tone. They got ones for basically the bites and splinters. Oh, and then my favorite one, of course, is this guy right here. They got one for burns and blisters, and this is my favorite right here. This one is actually for bites and scratches, right? How many times have you guys gotten an insect bite, right? Whether that's a spider bite or like some kind of I don't know, a flea bite or something. It's really irritated, right? You put a bandage on there, it kind of covers it, but then, it still is itching down below, right? Well, what they're doing on these bandages is actually they're using coconut activated charcoal, actually made out of bamboo, to actually put on the little pad of the bandage, so that when you put it on, the bamboo charcoal is basically like a filter, right? That's why we filter water through bamboo to remove the impurities. Well, when you put it on your skin next to the insect bite, it may be pulling out some of the different, things in the insect bite. Now, I would recommend, if you guys have an insect bite or something like that, you want to change the bandage with the charcoal on there, maybe like twice a day. You're going to put it on, it's going to do its drawing, and then you're going to take it off, and you're going to put a new one on to suck out all the toxins, whether it's from spider venom, do they have venom, or whatever, right? And then, of course, when you take it off and then throw it in your compost, it'll basically just compost back into nature. Now, I did want to talk real quick once again about the adhesive they're using. So they got, coming out really soon, they got a strap product. So this is going to be like that sports tape product that you guys might be familiar with right here, coming right out. And once again, this is going to be their same technology, just 100% compostable with that adhesive material. And unlike other adhesives, that basically when you put it on, you pull it off, it'll rip your skin off. Have you ever done that? I put on plenty of band-aids where I take it off, and it actually rips skin off. It actually damages your skin once you're taking off, and this can be especially important if you have, family members that are a little bit older, have more thinner, more frail skin. This will never rip off your skin due to the design, because they're really not even using adhesive. So this stuff is super amazing. This is brand new in the U.S. It's been out in Australia for a while now, so they're just getting distribution started, and they're hoping to get it in your major, just health food stores like Whole Foods, even down to drugstores. Wherever you need some bandages, the patch is hoped to be there for you guys. So I want you guys to look for that in the future, and make sure you guys compost these guys, right? I mean, we want to try to minimize and reduce all the plastic in our lives, and these are made out of, the bamboo. you know, a really useful material that will basically just compost and turn into nutrients for your garden. Yes, even with your blood on there. So if you guys want to learn about the patch and learn more about where it's available, you want to check out nutricare.co. So the next exhibit I want to show you guys is actually called Bhoomi, and actually that's a Sanskrit word. For those of you guys that don't read Sanskrit, it means Mother Earth. And actually this is a company that is producing sugarcane juice in the United States, and the sugarcane is sourced from the United States. At present time, the sugarcane is all coming from Louisiana. So, you know, I've covered other companies that are making HPP or high pressure processing already, like last year's episode, and I would encourage every company to do HPP and make sugarcane juice more available. Unfortunately, sugarcane juice is one of those things that is, number one, very hard to juice because you need a special juicer. It's going to break all common juicers. Number two, it might be very difficult for an average consumer to find sugarcane stock to juice. So I'm glad that there are companies stepping up, and there needs to be more of these to increase the pie, to increase the awareness of the sugarcane juice, because in my opinion, sugarcane juice on some levels is even more nutritious and actually has less sugar than even orange juice. So let's go over and learn about the Bhoomi sugarcane juice. So at present time, Bhoomi has six different flavors. This line actually is basically half sugarcane with half water. So I personally wouldn't recommend you guys buy these, although if you guys are looking for something more lower calorie, because they already basically you know, add half water to this, it's going to be lower calorie for you guys. That being said, I'd encourage you guys actually just to buy the regular one and dilute it with water if it's too strong or if you want lower calories, all right? So I'm going to talk about these guys, which is the pure line today. They have 3 different flavors. This is actually sugarcane juice with lemon and rock salt, not my favorite. The next one is actually sugarcane juice with lime and mint, and my favorite, of course, is this guy right here. This is the sugarcane juice with lemon and ginger. So this is what it looks like, and basically sugarcane juice, if you guys don't know, it's a highly perishable product. It's probably the most perishable juice that I could think of off the top of my head. Once you guys juice this, if you just put it in the fridge in like a bottle without doing anything, you know, it might like expire or start to ferment literally in like a day or two, and you won't be able to drink it. So, you know, they're using special high pressure processing to basically make this shelf stable. Once it's in the bottle, it'll last for about 150 days. And so that's really cool. So as long as you keep this sealed, you're good to go. But once you open it, you want to drink it within the next several days or it will oxidize, right? That's why I personally like to store my sugarcane juice under vacuum. I'll put a link down below on how you guys can store your juices under vacuum to preserve them and keep them longer. Now, I did want to talk about the sugar content in the sugarcane juice. You might think, John, sugarcane juice is bad because there's a lot of sugar in there. Well, so sugarcane juice has mostly water in there with some different, you know, phytonutrients, phytochemicals, vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, and the sugar, if you look at the glycemic index, which some people use to compare different products, it's about 43 for sugarcane juice, but if you look at orange juice, it's about like 50. Watermelon juice is maybe around 70, and coconut water said to be around in the 30s somewhere, depending on the variety and the matureness of the coconut. So, you know, there's definitely less sugar in here, and drinking sugarcane juice, it's not like taking some white sugar, pouring it in water, and then drinking it. Completely different. I mean, if you guys notice, this is totally green inside there. They're juicing the green sugarcane here. Sugarcane is a grass. It can absorb up to 90 different trace minerals from Mother Earth. And, you know, so this is a very nutritious juice. Also, there's properties in the sugarcane which are anti-aging, and they use actually the sugarcane in certain religions as, you know, as like a, I don't know, like a healing and in Ayurvedic medicine, right? So let me go ahead and try this guy for you guys. Yeah, definitely good. I think I taste a good amount of lemon in there, but that's good because that helps keep the sugarcane juice fresher for longer. This is only available at current time in Texas, and hopefully they're going to be rolling out to more parts of the United States at this time. The price is about $4 is the current retail price. Anyways, what I want to do next for you guys, although they sell it like this, they are demonstrating juicing the cane themselves. So for the first time, I get to use like a $200, you know, inexpensive sugarcane juicer to juice by hand crank, and we'll share with you guys more information about the amazing sugarcane. All right, so now I want to go ahead and juice sugarcane in a dedicated sugarcane juicer. So I want to let you guys know sugarcane juicing is a specialized process. Don't just use your standard fruit or vegetable juicer to juice sugarcane because you will break your juicer. Trust me, I've broken juicers trying to juice sugarcane before. So what they bought here is actually just this is not what they use in their production facility. They have big commercial machines, but they basically just for the trade show they bought, this is like a $200 sugarcane juicer on Amazon or on eBay, AliExpress. This is what you're going to get. First time I've seen one of these in person. You know, and to me, I mean, this is a really cheap juicer. While it may work, I don't know if it's going to last you a long time. And there's, you know, definitely some stainless steel parts on here. The rollers look pretty durable, but some of these parts are not. So this is basically a hand crank. You're going to get exercise when you're juicing. And this is basically pot metal. So they basically had one of these guys here, and then basically it tipped over and dropped, and then basically the pot metal crank broke. So these are not the highest quality machines by far. Luckily, I was able to find a used commercial sugarcane juicer on Craigslist many years ago. So that's that. And then next I want to talk to you about the cane. So the cane that they use is actually grown in Louisiana. So this is the first time I'm juicing Louisiana grown sugar cane. And I think that's really cool. And the other thing I want to talk about actually is really quick is the history of sugar cane. So unfortunately, sugarcane is a really oppressive crop because if you think about it, right, landowners brought in sugarcane. They had slaves work sugarcane fields. They paid people poorly to grow sugarcane just so that people could basically extract the white sugar from the sugarcane, which I'm not an advocate of having any processed sugar products, being it from sugar, being it from agave, being it from coconut. You know, I want you guys to get the sugars in your food naturally, you know, from fruits and vegetables or sugarcane, which technically is a grass, pulling it out and then drinking it with all the nutrients that should be in there aside, in this case, from the fiber. And sugarcane can be very hard on the land. You know, I've been to properties in Hawaii that have literally been destroyed by sugarcane growing, and I'm glad to say that the company here is you know, half minority owned, and they're employing minority farmers to help give back. The goal of this company is actually also to be a B corporation, to do, you know, to do good on the planet. And I believe we need more companies that are going to do good on the planet than just destroy it and rape and pillage it for profits. So of course they need to be profitable to stay in business, to continue their mission, to bring sugarcane to more people, to get more nutritious beverages out to people, but also to do the good work that they are doing. So this is sugarcane now. It comes straight out raw from the field. Literally, they cut it down, and then you can see like sugarcane kind of is a little bit dirty. You know, there could be some dirt on here. There's a natural sugarcane wax that's kind of like a waxy coating that if I scrape off with my finger, you might see it on my fingernail. But actually, there's nutrients in the sugarcane wax that have been studied over in Europe. They isolate the sugarcane wax, and then they gave it the sugarcane wax to somebody, and it did something. I forget exactly what it does. But anyways, all components of whole foods have different nutrients in there. In addition, the sugarcane peel may have beneficial probiotics in there, and of course, you know, there's prebiotics in the sugarcane itself. But that being said, they don't process the sugarcane like this, all dirty. They wash it and even skin it down a little bit. So let me show you guys what we're juicing today. So this is a better example of, you know, once they wash it and they partially peel the sugarcane, what it looks like. You know, they peel off all the dirty spots. They leave some of the peel on there, which is what I like because, you know, there are nutrients in there. And of course, they run it through the HPP process in their bottled product that basically kill all the microbes in there, but don't hurt the enzymes because it is at a low temperature. Anyways, let's go ahead and try to juice this stuff in the juicer here. So it's just a hand crank. We're just going to go ahead and crank this forward, and we're going to feed this cane in. All right, and you should bolt this unit down, but I think I'll be able to do it without bolting it down. We got one-handed sugarcane juicing. Look at that. I'm pumping my sugarcane. All right, so you guys can see that sugarcane was literally just flattened, right? Don't put your fingers or anything through the cane juicer. Just flatten, and at the same time it's flattened, it's literally, the juice is squeezed out. Now to get more juice, you want to go ahead and bend this over, and you want to put it back in, but this may even be harder to crank. So let's see if we can do this on this manual. All right, I could really feel the tension there.
You got it!
Crank
you, baby. There you go. You're good.
All right, now this is completely cranked and flattened, and like I don't even think I could wring any juice out of this. It's pretty dry. All right.
Well done.
I'm gonna do a few more stocks, and maybe I'm gonna try to fill this little collection cup up that actually strains out any kind of fiber, and then I'm gonna pour myself a glass. So I've just pressed out 3 stalks of sugarcane, and I'm ready to have a juice. So let's see how this juicer works. All right, look at that. Fresh juice coming right out. Tapped off. So now we're gonna go ahead and try my fresh made sugarcane juice, 100% straight, nothing added. It's quite good. I love fresh sugarcane juice. You got to drink this really soon. It's going to oxidize. Always encourage you guys to drink any juices right after you make them for the highest and best health benefits. Of course, you know, they have to HPP their juices, you know, in the packaging so that you guys can have them. And I believe that HPP processing is probably one of the best processing that meets the FDA criteria, you know, so that companies can ship you and sell you guys the fresh made juices. That being said, I would encourage you guys to visit a local sugarcane juice bar if there's one near you, because that's even better than buying an HPP juice. But meanwhile, if you guys want to learn more about the Bhoomi sugarcane juice that may be hopefully available near you soon, you want to visit them at drinkbhoomi.com. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually one of the coolest booths at this whole trade show right here. I'm here in the Thailand Pavilion in the North Halls, which actually is closing right now. Everybody's packing up and going away. But anyways, I wanted to bring this to you guys so you guys are aware of this before anything else in this video, all right? So what I want to show you guys next is actually the Jasberry rice. So in my opinion, this is the healthiest rice in the entire world that you guys should be eating. If you guys still eat rice, then you should be eating this rice. And if you guys are into eating raw rice, which rice can be soaked and then bloomed to be eaten, and this rice, unlike many other rices, can even be sprouted, you know, according to the owner that I've been talking to, because they don't heat process it like other rices out there, which I'll be sharing with you guys. This is the rice you guys really want to be eating, and it is actually now available in the United States. So let's learn about the Jasberry rice. Now I want to share with you guys actually the Jasberry rice, which is like the most nutritious rice in terms of antioxidants in the entire world. And I want you guys to eat an antioxidant rich diet. As I talk to you guys can see my hands are literally stained blood red. Well, that's not because of blood, it's because of beets, right? I really want to encourage you guys to eat the deeply pigmented foods. You know, I personally like to eat deeply pigmented fruits and vegetables. You know, like I love purple carrots. They're like one of my favorite foods. Deeply rich colored, you know, Detroit red beets. You know, any kind of colored foods. Blueberries, actually I ate 4 packs of blueberries today for breakfast. I want you guys to eat your colored foods, and you know, even if you guys are eating rice and whatnot and cooking rice, right, you can still get the benefits of the antioxidants in the rice, right? And so what I want to encourage you guys to do is get this rice right here. This is actually called the organic Jasberry rice, and there's many reasons why this rice is really cool, and it's not just because of the high antioxidant content. As you guys can see on this sign here, it says your new superfood rice. And it's basically 40 times more antioxidants than brown rice, which is probably what you guys are maybe eating now. 3 times more antioxidants than red quinoa, or 4 times more than the white quinoa. And check this out, you guys eat kale, right? I eat kale, I grow kale. This has 7 times more antioxidant power than even kale, the almighty kale, right? Totally amazing. And if you guys are still eating this stuff right here, right? Look at this. This is just standard white rice, right? And let me show you this Jasberry rice here, like a close-up. This is what it looks like, right? White rice, Jasberry rice. Guess what? This one's like 300 times more antioxidant power, like 320 times more antioxidant power than the white rice, right? And okay, yeah, so white rice. John, white rice, man, is cheap, man. It's like 99 cents a pound, maybe $1 a pound. And the purple rice, man, or the Jasberry rice, this is like $5 a pound. So, okay, so it's 5 times more money, but it's 320 times more phytonutrients, or the antioxidants in there, including the purple antioxidants known as the anthocyanins, which are so beneficial for our health. I want to encourage you guys to eat an anthocyanin-rich diet every day. I want to encourage you guys to eat something purple, and this purple rice will count for sure, all right? Now, aside from the rice product that they make, which is the one I'm advocating for, they will also turn the rice, if you do eat processed foods, which I don't recommend, into like other pasta products. So this is probably the healthiest pasta stuff you could eat if you're eating that, but I don't recommend it. This actually has acai berry and Jasberry rice and fiber from coconut turned into little noodle things. That being said, I would encourage you guys to eat the whole food first, the rice unprocessed, and this is even considered raw because they do not heat process this. They harvest it from the field. They basically dry it in the sun in Thailand, like not near any cities, like out in the country, and and then they basically vacuum pack it. And that's very important, the vacuum packing, right? If you guys go and find rice in packages at the store and they're not vacuum packed, that means that rice has probably been, but maybe not entirely been, heat processed. So for example, I have a friend, Rio. Hey, Rio. She asked me to speak to one of the vendors here about their black forbidden rice product and how they treat it after harvest, post-harvest, and if it's raw or not. And actually, I learned from this other vendor that they basically par cook the rice so that it cooks faster, so that it's softer in the package. And I learned the reason why they're par cooking the rice, because if you par cook it after it's been harvested, you're killing all the the bug eggs and things in there. And if you just store it in ambient, without a vacuum, right, the bug eggs could hatch and be really bad. So you have to make sure you get vacuum packed rice like they're vacuum packing so that the bug eggs can't literally hatch on you. The other thing I like about this rice is because it is just sun dried. You could actually use this rice and throw it out in your garden, and you could grow the same exact purple rice plant. This is they've done a lot of research, R&D, to basically make sure that this is a stable variety and you're going to get the same quality each and every time. So yeah, you could grow this into the whole plant, and so that to me is a true definition of what raw is, if you could take the seed and then grow it out. So the other question is, John, can you eat rice raw? Because I know you eat only raw foods, John. So I don't actually technically eat only raw. I eat like 99% raw, and I try to eat as much food as I can in the least, with the least amount of processing, whether that's juicing or cooking or otherwise. And for this rice, I currently can soak and bloom wild rice, which has been parched, and I believe it to be a beneficial food. Plus it adds texture and some flavors. With this rice, it's high antioxidants. So the way I'm trying to eat it now, and I'll show you guys what I've done. I was at this booth like 2 days ago, or the first day, and I basically got the rice and I soaked it in water in my mason jar, and I pulled a vacuum on this. And then this morning, after 36 hours, I pulled the water out, but I still put a vacuum on it. So listen to this. So this is the raw rice here, purple rice, and this is the soaked rice here. Now, I want to say something real quick. You're like, John, that looks just like black rice, man. Is it just black rice? No. So this actually has 5 times the antioxidant power of the standard, black rice or the forbidden rice that you may see. And so anyways, I've soaked this for 36 hours. This is what we got, and I'm going to try it for the first time on camera. I may need to soak this more. Normally when I bloom my rice, I basically soak it, put it in a vacuum, and then I put it in the dehydrator at like 118 degrees, or I'll put it in the sun in Las Vegas where I live. So we're going to go ahead and pull some of this stuff out. And normally rice is cooked, but this is the way you can eat it raw. And the other thing I'll say is on the soak water, you want to pour that soak water off, sieve it out, and you want to drink it, because the soak water that this rice was soaked in turned like deep, rich purple. You do not want to discard those purple antioxidants that are in the water literally coming off the rice naturally, all right? We're going to go ahead and try to eat this. So if I smell it, it smells like rice. And the other thing you'll notice is that there's very like floral overtones with this rice as compared to other types of rice that may look similar, right? So eating soaked rice. All right, so it's soft enough to eat. It's not breaking my teeth. It's still quite firm. So I'd say we need more soaking time to break it up. Yeah, I'd say we need more soaking time, and it tastes totally like neutral to me. Yeah, I'd say we'd soak it longer and maybe try to sprout it. I don't know, I'm going to have to play with that a little bit more, but this is the first time I've came across this rice. And yes, so you can eat this raw. I think longer soaking times, and once again, soak it under vacuum with some heat. That will speed up the process of making it, softer so that you guys can eat it. Now, if this rice wasn't cool enough because it's high antioxidant, because it's not heat processed during the packaging, and it's actually truly considered raw, the other thing that's really cool I want to point out is on the packaging here, this is actually a B corporation. So I don't know if you guys know about B corporations, but B corporations are founded, like, pretty much, I would say, I'll sum it up for the greater good. It's not just about making money, but it's about giving back to, people and helping people out. So the company here that's been founded, it was basically founded as a project by university students to basically help bring jobs to Thailand, to increase the farmers' revenue. And one of the things they do, they basically increase the farmers' revenue basically like 14 times from what it was growing like just standard rice, growing the Jasberry rice. And then in addition, they don't only want to like increase the revenue of the farmer, they want to make the farmers' lives healthier. So they allow the farmer to keep 25% of the harvest to feed the farmer's family, so that they're eating literally probably one of the healthiest foods, like highly pigmented, antioxidant-rich rice, when everybody else is eating the white rice. And I want to remind you guys, those of you guys that don't watch me, there have been studies that show by supplementing or just drinking purple carrot juice fed to rodents, which I do not agree with animal testing, rodents fed a junk food diet and just supplemented with half purple carrot juice, which are the purple anthocyanins, were able to reduce their blood sugar issues, decrease their circulation, their inflammation, and even lose weight. And that's really the power of the purple anthocyanins. There'll be more and more research about these anthocyanins. So anyways, the beet company here allows the farmers to eat eat some of the rice, and increases the revenue. So they're basically making it a win-win. In addition, most of the farmers that grow this rice are actually, female farmers as well. They do fund some of the programs through Akiva, which is a lending system. So this has to be one of the best companies here at the events for, doing right in society, and bringing back, farming and making it viable for, the farmers in Thailand. Now I know what you're thinking. Now you're thinking, John, what about the arsenic? Man, I don't eat rice because of the arsenic. So here's the thing, right? There's like organic and inorganic arsenic. Arsenic is a naturally occurring mineral in the ground. And I haven't requested yet, but the testing data is available. If you contact the company, they'll send you the testing data to show you guys the arsenic levels in their rice. And at this time, I feel comfortable with eating this rice. And once again, I do not encourage you guys to eat, nor do I eat a rice-based diet, right? Rice is one healthy component, especially the purple rice here, one healthy component of a big diet that should vary with many different ingredients and foods that you guys are eating. And if you eat a lot of foods with rice that has maybe a little bit of arsenic in there, in the scope of things, it's not a big deal. But if you eat nothing but rice every meal, that's like really bad. This is also grown out in the country, in Thailand, not near any big major cities. So actually that's a good thing, because they can only basically sun dry the rice, and they don't have all kind of technological advanced machinery to process the rice. So it's really done the old-fashioned way. The other cool thing about this rice is that it's not just like at this trade show that like you guys can't get this, like some of the products I may have shown you. This rice is actually now available in the United States. So you can go on Amazon. I'll put links down below to the Amazon link. This stuff's about $5 per pound at present time, maybe a little bit less if you buy a case at a time. And also it may be available, but not guaranteed, at something like a TJ Maxx or Marshall's near you. If you guys want to learn more about the Jasberry rice in my future episodes, hey, please be sure to leave a comment for me down below. I'm going to experiment a lot more with my soaked rice and see if I can get this to eat, and see if I can make some really cool recipes out of it to increase my antioxidant content by eating more purple foods. And meanwhile, if you guys want to learn more about the nutritional content and the benefits of the Jasberry rice, you want to check them out at jasberry.net. All right, so now I want to show you guys actually the next booth, and this is probably my favorite hemp or CBD booth here. That's one of the new things here, is like the CBD, like almost every other, maybe not quite every other, but there's so many booths with like our CBD product is the best and blah, blah, blah. And the problem I see with actually all the other CBD products here at the show, they're all isolates. They basically take the hemp plant, distill it down, where they're using like some kind of ethanol, CO2, or even worse, some other kind of extraction process, and taking isolates out of the hemp plant, including the CBDs and potentially, if it's a full spectrum, the other cannabinoids in there. But you're getting a really small range of nutrients from the hemp plant, which I think is really sad. I would encourage you guys, if you guys live in an area that it is legal to grow hemp, which is the non-psychoactive kind of cannabis, I encourage you guys to do that. Don't break any laws because while it was legalized in the 2019 Farm Bill, states have not necessarily been implementing it as quickly as they should. Anyways, I want to go head over to Lumen, which is regenerative hemp, grown even beyond organically, and explain to you guys why this is my favorite hemp product at the show. And I want to share with you guys more information about the Lumen hemp elixirs, and that's what they are. Right now, they just literally started and launched a few weeks ago. They did like a crowdfunding, which they've actually sent everybody. They're crowdfunded. This is actually like a case of 12, and currently they're only available like in the Los Angeles area, Lazy Acres, and Irwan, but they hope to get nationwide here, soon enough. The retail price is about $5.99 per shot. So what this is a hemp elixir, and basically it's just a shot of basically the hemp leaf that's been juiced, but actually it's more than the hemp leaf. It's actually that part of the hemp plant. So this is a hemp plant right here. You're like, John, that looks like cannabis or marijuana. So, hemp is related to cannabis or marijuana, whatever you guys want to call it, but this is the non-psychoactive version. Yes, this is really a live plant right here. And so the industrial hemp, which is what they get hemp seeds from or hemp oil from, which is what you guys have, have eaten. What happens on these guys is that this has less than 0.03 THC. And so it mostly has the other cannabinoids, and we have what's called an endocannabinoid system in our bodies with receptors for these cannabinoids that if you're not eating, the hemp plant, getting a juice or something, you're not going to fill your receptors and you're not going to maybe feel as optimal as you could. So, when I started taking some of the cannabinoids, I felt like it took my health to the next level, and you're going to have to try for yourself to see where it'll take you. So anyways, this company, what they do is they have a farm in Oregon, and they grow the hemp plant, and they grow it. They're grown actually for the seed or for the oil. So then they basically juice the whole plant with the flowers, the seeds, the oil, and the leaves. So they're really getting a full extraction of oil and nutrition and cannabinoids and minerals and vitamins. And unlike other companies that may just extract out only the cannabinoids, and then that's what you're going to get in the tincture or the little bottles or whatever, in the oil, whether they're using MCT oil, coconut oil, or hemp oil to put it in, you're literally getting this is the full spectrum. So think of this as this is like more of a whole food than the isolates that all the other products on the market are offering, right? Literally from this plant. So we take the hemp. So what they do is they squeeze it out, and then basically in each bottle, I think you get about 1.5 cups of the hemp, actually, but after it's been juiced, it turns into about 25% of this bottle is basically just the hemp juice. And then they mix it with other ingredients. This is the one with the turmeric and orange juice in there, anti-inflammatory, and this is actually called the Immune with turmeric in there. And this is a hemp ginger turmeric farm to bottle. And so we're gonna go ahead and shake this up. We're gonna try this for you guys on camera. So 25% hemp juice. Now I'm going to warn you guys, if you guys have had wheatgrass juice, right, and you guys know how like a wheatgrass shot tastes, this is literally a hemp shot or hemp elixir. This stuff is actually quite strong, so be aware. I mean, you are, in my opinion, getting like true medicine. I mean, let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. One of the best medicines here, Lumen hemp elixir, all right? Down the hatch.
This was the ashwagandha, spirulina, moringa, and a coconut water there.
Wow. So when it's in my mouth and I'm swishing it around, and I want to encourage you guys not to slug this down and not taste it. Digestion starts in the mouth with our saliva and mixing, all around in our mouth, swishing it around.
Mind if I try that? You know it. What else is in there? Moringa, spirulina, ashwagandha.
Swish it around. I really kind of taste the orange, but then after it, after I swallow it, then you get the really strong flavor. Like the hemp has a really strong. It's really hard to describe. It's just like a strong green flavor, and I taste some of like if you've ever had straight essential oils, like that's what I'm tasting. I'm tasting some like the essential oils from the hemp in my mouth. I wouldn't say it like necessarily burns, but I'll definitely say that it tastes like a medicine for sure.
Healthiest distribute right now.
We're doing DSD. We just launched it in retail 3 weeks ago with Aronia.
Wow.
We also sell.
Like right when you swallow it, you get this like,
Directly to your website.
it tastes like boots, like, you know, smelly boots. Like, don't tell them I said that. But that is what it tastes like. But, you know, you're probably not drinking this for flavor, but you are drinking it for the cannabinoids, the vitamins, and the minerals, basically reduced down. And the other thing is that this is not heat processed either. This is HPP, so it can be considered raw. This product has a 60-day shelf life. Totally amazing, and I would encourage you guys to try it, right? As soon as it's legal and you guys could grow the hemp plant, I would encourage you guys to actually grow it yourself and juice it yourself. But until then, because the legal status is still kind of, you know, not super, you know, good for the average consumer, you know, buy it from a trusted source such as the Lumen, which is literally the shining light. They have a lot more plans than simply just making the hemp juice. You know, they want to use some of the hemp to make hemp plastic bottles and hemp labels and all this stuff. So they're going to ramp up, and this is one company you'll be hearing more about in the future. They know me because of all my videos online, so I've a negotiated special discounted price for you guys. If you guys want to try this, you guys could order, you know, a 12-pack here, and it's you could get a 15% off coupon by using the coupon code OKRAW at drinklumen.com, and that's where you can also learn more. Drinklumen.com, once again, my favorite CBD hemp-based product here at the show because it's a full spectrum fresh juice, and you guys know I'm all about the juices. So yes, drinklumen.com, check it out. All right, so the expo is almost over, and I want to share actually 2 booths with you guys. One booth I actually already packed up and was gone, so I couldn't film for you guys there, and then the other booth, the guy that I was talking to who was there yesterday left yesterday, so I could not film that booth today. I did not get permission. So I'm actually just filming just outside the exhibit halls to show you guys these 2 products, all right? So the first one I want to share with you guys is actually this one. It's actually, well, this is Trim Tab Foods, but actually they have a different farm, and I forget the name of the farm now, and since the guy left, you guys aren't gonna know it either, but maybe they link from their trimtabfoods.com website. Basically, the company was a company that actually has the United States first and probably only Aronia berry farm. You guys may have heard of Aronia berries. I've been aware of them for a while. I have powdered Aronia berries in my cupboard at home because I like to add it to my different, you know, superfood smoothies and shakes and whatnot. And basically they're like a super high antioxidant, actually native to the United States grown super berry, you know, probably the most nutrient dense berry on the planet. Now, you know, unlike blueberries, which I actually had for lunch, if you bite open in blueberry, it's purple on the outside, but white on the inside. The Aronia berries are purple all the way through. So they're like, I think they have 4 times more antioxidants than like standard blueberries. They have more resveratrol than like grapes. I mean, they are an incredible food. This farm grows them and basically will freeze them, and they'll be sold at certain Whole Foods and maybe even natural grocers near you. The frozen Aronia berries. Now, they don't taste sweet, so, you know, I like to add them to like bananas and other berries when I'm drinking my smoothies made out of them. They also have a freeze-dried product, whole, and also they sell that in capsules. And basically I had a capsule, just open it up and put it in your mouth. And I mean, it's not like objectionable. It's not like, ew, this is nasty. It's just like, oh, it's, you know, tad bit, you know, I don't know, astringent a little bit. But it's good, I like it. And, you know, once again, I want to encourage you guys to eat antioxidant-rich foods. So I guess that's all I have to say about the Aronia berry and the unnamed farm that I don't know the name, but this is the farm. It's in the hills, I think, of Iowa, and the farm helped to conserve the Aronia berry that was actually an endangered plant in the United States. And of course, if you guys are gardeners or growers, you guys could get your own Aronia berry trees or plants and grow them yourself, which I would encourage you guys to do. Now the next product, this is revolutionary, so I thank you guys for hanging out and watching this entire video, because this part will definitely change your life, especially if you guys have come down with kidney stones or are prone to getting kidney stones. You guys know, for those of you guys that have had kidney stones, because I haven't ever had kidney stones and I don't intend to get them either. For those of you guys that have had kidney stones, you guys know how painful they are, and really, there's not really a good treatment for that. You got to go on a low oxalate diet and all this kind of stuff. But now there's a solution. So what there is, there's this stuff. It's actually called the Oxalate Reducing Enzyme, and it's called Nephure. Nephure is basically an enzyme that basically will break down the oxalates. And this is not like GMO or anything like that. Well, the enzyme is not GMO. It's actually extracted from and a blue-green algae actually. So maybe if you have a blue-green algae, you're going to get enough of this enzyme, but they basically have concentrated the enzyme in this product. Now, unfortunately, at present time, this product also has a carrier, which is maltodextrin, which straight up on the box says comes from corn. And, it says that, I talked to the guy and I'm like, is it GMO corn? And he said, yes. So currently this is on GMO corn, maltodextrin, although they hope to be changing the formulation very soon. But nonetheless, I got a few packages as samples. This is just like an empty box, all right? So the main benefit I see to this Nephure, or basically oxalate reducing enzyme, is for people that have kidney stones. Of course you want to use this because you're supposed to be on a low oxalate diet. Now this allows you to eat oxalate rich foods to break down the oxalate. So for example, if you're blending up a smoothie with spinach, you could add some of the powder to the spinach smoothie before it blends, and as it blends in the liquid, the enzymes are basically acting upon the oxalates to basically break them down. Now the problem with the oxalates is that they say oxalates is an anti-nutrient, because basically the oxalates hold on and bind to calcium and other minerals that are in your food, which means when you eat those foods, you're not going to get the absorption of those minerals in the foods that you guys are eating. But thanks to the Nephure oxalate dissolving enzyme, you could now basically eat foods with oxalates such as spinach, put this enzyme in there. Now it basically frees up that calcium and other minerals that would normally be binded to the oxalates, so that you guys could absorb the calcium. So maybe if you're calcium deficient, you eat a lot of oxalate foods, this enzyme can be quite beneficial. Once they have the non-GMO version, I don't think it could hurt to add some of these enzymes into my smoothie. If I'm having like a mostly spinach smoothie, I think it's gonna be a beneficial thing. And of course, the blue-green algae, I don't know what kind of blue-green algae that this enzyme is naturally occurring in, but that also might be good to add. And then of course there's foods that have lots of oxalates, so there's a nice list right here, and a lot of foods have oxalates, like almonds, it says very high, cashews, peanuts, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, even fruits, grapefruits, dates, kiwis, raspberry, tangerines, beets, okra, parsnips, rhubarb, spinach, sweet potato, raw carrots, eggplant, tomatoes, olives, raw celery. They all have oxalates. Now, there's a whole thing, are oxalates bad into themselves, right? Should you just avoid certain foods because they have oxalates, or because they have lectins, or because they have other anti-nutrients? And it's my personal opinion that if you're healthy and have just a properly functioning body, then I would say you don't need to go out of your way to avoid any oxalates. Although, that being said, you don't want to make your diet out of high oxalate foods in the first place. You want to have like a variety of foods that you're eating. Some might contain oxalates in higher amounts, some might contain lower amounts, and you want to just have a nice balance, so you're never eating one of any food in significant quantity that could have too many anti-nutrients in there. That being said, if you really enjoy some of your oxalates foods, this enzyme, in my opinion, can definitely help you guys out. I look forward to looking into it more for sure. If you guys want to learn more about this, you can learn more at their website. I think it's called Nephure, Nephure.com. So the last exhibitor I want to show you guys today is actually probably the only exhibitor here that is selling juicers or blenders or equipment. In the olden days, like Blendtec would be here, Vitamix would be here, Omega would be here, Kuvings would be here, and now even Champion would be here. This year, only TriBest is the only company that's selling health appliances that will allow you to process your own foods at home, so you can ditch all the processed foods and start making your own foods at home. So anyways, let's go head over to TriBest and show you guys some of my favorite products at the TriBest booth that are available at discountjuicers.com. All right, so the first product that I really like a lot, of course, are juicers, right? These allow you to take fruits and vegetables and turn them into juice yourself instead of buying a pre-packaged bottled juice, right? It's so much less expensive to make your own juices at home than to buy them pre-made. And in addition, when you make your own juices, you are in control. You get to choose exactly the ingredients you want to make, whether you want to make straight celery juice or celery, kale, apple, as in this case, or the dandelions out of your front yard, or even juice grasses, the TriBest juicers will allow you to do that. This is the Shine juicer. This is the entry model, about $150. I like it for my travel juicer, or if you're not going to juice a lot. If you want to move up though, you could get something like the Green Star Pro. This is like the high-end lifestyle juice if you guys really want to get the most nutrition out of your juice and the highest level of phytochemicals as well as minerals, in my opinion. Aside from juicers, right, if you guys are buying kale chips or buying dehydrated treats at the store, you guys are paying inflated prices, right? 2 ounces of kale chips could sell for $6, which is totally insane. I have as many kale and collard greens and leafy greens growing in my backyard that I just need to basically make a batter for, butter them up literally, and put them in a dehydrator such as the TriBest Sedona Supreme Dehydrator. And check this out. Inside here, they have all the kale chips you guys can eat. And I'll tell you guys, kale chips you guys make at home, right? You don't have to use the cheap ingredients. If you guys read most kale chips ingredients, it's like the first ingredient is maybe kale, the second ingredient is like sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are a really cheap, inexpensive seed to use. They don't make the kale chips taste great, but it's cheaper for them to manufacture. In the olden days when Blessing came out with her kale chips, as the first person, that made them, she used cashews, but hardly any kale chips uses cashews because they're too expensive, and a lot of the companies here main motive is profit. So you guys don't have to do that. You guys could use the highest quality macadamia nuts like I do at home, or any other kind of nuts to make your batter, and we're gonna go ahead and try this for you guys. Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God, this is like the best kale chip in the whole place. But here's the other thing. In bag kale chips, a lot of companies are now cutting corners. They're no longer saying raw on the packaging. And in my opinion, they're heating things a lot higher than what a raw foodist would like. This, of course, for them saves them time, which in the end saves money, which then increases their profits, but it's at your expense. So when you do it at home, they have a raw mode on here so that you'll never exceed 118 degrees or whatever temperature you guys set it at. So yeah, make your own kale chips, make your own juices. Let's learn what else you can make thanks to TriBest. The other essential kitchen product that you guys should own so that you can become a producer instead of consumer is a blender. And I don't just recommend blenders or Vitamix blenders or anything these days. I only recommend you guys use a vacuum blender, and I don't really care what brand it is, whether it's TriBest or otherwise. I test a lot of them. But I want you guys to start vacuum blending, right? There's companies here that will basically just make a smoothie and then put it in a bottle and then HPP it and then sell it to you, and it's shelf stable, right? Once you blend something inside the blender, it looks like we could turn this on. Inside the middle of the blender, if you look very carefully, and it's quite loud, it's like a little mini tornado, right? A tornado hit Alabama recently, tore up houses and destroyed people's families and lives and all this kind of stuff. And so that tornado really caused lots of oxidative damage to the food as the cell walls are being blown open and turned inside out to release the nutrients. So the better way to do that is to use a vacuum blender. And what this does is you would put this on the top and you'd press the button, and what's happening is there's a pump in here that's sucking all the excess oxygen out of the carafe, so that when you do blend, you preserve more of those beneficial phytochemicals, phytonutrients, and antioxidants such as vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin A, as well as different polyphenols that have been shown in scientific published studies that are higher, 2 to 3 times higher in vacuum blending than not. Now, of course, you can make smoothies in your vacuum blender, but you could also do things such as make, salad dressings, blended soups. It is so convenient, and the blender is one of my go-to appliances in my kitchen. Another product that TriBest has that I like a lot is the Fresh Life 3000 Sprouter. If I remember, I'll put a link down below to the video I made recently with the Sprout Brothers, where we talk about the benefits of sprouting, right? If you guys start growing your own sprouts from seeds, you're now your own gardener, you're your own farmer, even if you don't have land outside to do that. Just in this little device here, you can grow your own fresh sprouts in as little as 5 to 10 days, depending on what sprouts you're growing, right? This is like a nice sprout mix with broccoli, alfalfa, and clover. And the sprouts are the most nutrient-dense foods on the entire planet. If you're just buying the little sprouts in a little package, it's like $2 to $3. But you could buy a pound of seeds for like $14, and that'll turn into like a ton of sprouts, right? Like 10 times the amount of sprouts. It's totally insane. And plus you're gonna harvest them fresh and eat them, so that literally you're getting the most nutrition in the entire planet, definitely more than anything else in this entire expo. So another product that TriBest offers that I have used in the past is this guy. This is actually the TriBest Yo Life, and this is a yogurt maker. So whether you guys are making dairy yogurts, which I'm not in agreement that we should be eating dairy yogurts made from cows or goats or whatever kind of other animal, unless it's maybe yogurt from human animals. I think that's probably a good food for us to eat if we're still, a child. But I personally like to make the yogurt out of the young coconut meat and the young coconut water with some probiotic cultures in there. And this will provide you with a perfect around 100-degree temperature so that you guys can make your own probiotic-rich coconut yogurts at home. All right, so the last TriBest product I want to share with you guys actually is a commercial product. You guys probably won't buy one of these for your home use, but it is really cool. Look at this. With a TriBest or presidential snow pop machine, you guys can literally make your own snow. Look at that. This is snow coming out. It is extremely cold on my hand. But yeah, anyways, produce your own snow at home. Amazing with a snow pop. But anyways, in the end, I want to encourage you guys after watching this episode is to become your own producer instead of consumer. Stop buying packaged food products. Make them yourself. If you want to eat, some vegan cheese, make your own and culture your own nuts. If you want to drink juices, don't buy them in a bottle or package. Buy a juicer. Start growing your own produce. Grow your own sprouts, right? Make your own kale chips. Buy a blender. Start making your own sauces and dips and dressings and soups, so you guys don't have to buy canned products or processed products. That is truly the answer. And I wish there was more people here at this expo talking to people about the truth of the matter. And this expo is pretty much just about products to keep you guys sucked in as consumers to keep our economy going. That brings me to the end of this episode today here at the Natural Products Expo West 2019. I hope you guys really enjoyed some of the booths that I showed you guys in this episode. And the booths that I'm showing you guys are not really booths that are necessarily processing foods for the most part. Some of those things like the purple rice. I mean, if you guys grow rice and grow purple rice, that's great. The hemp juice was amazing. That is a packaged product, but the problem right now is that it's not really legal to grow hemp, but they could do it legally and get it out to you guys. So I think it's definitely a good thing. But in the end, I really want to encourage you guys to start becoming a producer instead of a consumer in our society, right? You keep buying all these packaged products and this expo is going to keep growing and growing and growing and getting bigger like it has been every year. But I want you guys to take a stand. Even if you're not going to produce everything that you eat and grow, try to produce more of what you eat and grow so that less people in this industry have to produce them, ship them, use extra carbon emissions and plastic packaging. Like this morning I woke up and I made juice. It took me 2.5 hours, but now I have juice for the next several days that I'll be drinking while I'm still on my trip here in Southern California. Instead of stopping at a juice bar, number one, I save money. Number two, I'm making a higher quality juice than a juice bar could even provide me. And with some of the TriBest products, whether that's a dehydrator, a blender, the yogurt maker, grow your own sprouts, they will empower you, to become a producer instead of a consumer in our world. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also be sure to share this with other people in the natural products or health food industry so that they could learn about how to become more about a producer and stop taking all these free samples and loading up bags with excess food and trash that'll end up in the landfill. All right. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes that come out in about every 5 to 7 days. You never know where I'll show up or what be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified when my episodes come out. Also be sure to check my past episodes. There are a wealth of knowledge, over 500 episodes on this YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you guys how to eat the healthiest foods on the entire planet, which are the fresh fruits and the fresh vegetables. So with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables and become a producer. They're always the best.